Hello, friends of mine. Okay, so I've been asked by a few people, what is the problem? Like, what's my problem with the math series? I'm just going to pretend like everybody knows what's happening and everyone's been watching my videos in order. So welcome. Disregard whatever's happening on my head. It is so humid here. Whatever, I'm living in 80s fantasy with the big hair at the moment. Okay, so we are using Envision. And you know, it's not anything school-based. My school is trying really hard to help. The girl who's in charge of rolling it out at our school, she has done her homework and she's done everything she can to make it easier for us. So anyone from my school who's watching, it's not school related, but it's a little bit much, like the book itself. So this is probably just fundamentally me overthinking it, because that's me. But okay, let's take a look at very first lesson, first grade. Now let's remember, in reading, I'm literally doing at, and some kids are struggling. Okay, if anybody from Envision is watching this, hire me as a teacher advisor, because you gotta have somebody with teaching experience reviewing your books. Okay, I'm not gonna rant. That was a little close. I almost went off the deep end. Okay, this is the book. First of all, just a quick pass. Look how many words are on this page. Look at this. Just look at this. And tell me that's not going to be overwhelming before we even start to a little kid who can't read cat. If you can't read cat, how are you going to read or even follow along as I read? Sarah has 5 pencils. She puts some in the green cup. She puts some in the red cup. How many pencils could be in each cup? Could be in each cup. So lesson 1, whatever it is, we're already trying to get them into higher order thinking. And this isn't like the higher order thinking page. This is just like welcome to math. Right now, I have kids who don't have one-to-one correspondence. I have kids who don't know if I go like this, that's already 5. And you don't have to start here and keep counting. So some pencils in this cup, some pencils in that cup, they're supposed to figure out, oh, 5 pencils, I could put some here and some there. And what is the purpose of that? Like, why is that important right now? That's one. Okay, my other problem, this is something they're supposed to be able to do relatively independently, because this is the practice part for them. Write a picture story. First of all, they don't know what that means. What is a picture story? This is not common vocabulary, at least not yet. Show blue fish and green fish. Write an addition equation. Tell how many fish in all. So if you know anything about Teaching 101, you know that you do not slam a kid with multiple questions. You don't rattle off 7 steps for a 6-year-old to do. You certainly don't put them down in writing for them to read and figure out. So in one question, you want them to write, show, then write again, and tell. Tell to a 6-year-old means this: there are 7 fish. That's what tell means. Tell doesn't mean write it in a math problem. And can we just back up to the write an addition equation? At in reading, but when we flip over to math in the afternoon, they're supposed to be able to see, recognize, hear, understand, whatever. Addition equation. I understand. Look, I come from a background of teaching gifted students. That's where I shine, if I say so myself. That's where I do my thing. That's where I rock it out. This is not my thing. I'm not that this is not my thing, but I feel like I am better suited to teach upper grades, gifted kids, whatever. Okay, there's my confessional. However, I still know what I'm doing here, so nobody panic. Why is it necessary for a 6-year-old, or some kids are 5, believe it or not still, to see, hear, know the words addition equation? It's just not developmentally appropriate. It's not as though if we keep that terminology from them until they're in 3rd grade, that it's going to be this overwhelming mountain to overcome, and someone's going to say, how come I never knew what an equation was? Now my math life is ruined for the rest of my life. introduce the hard vocabulary when it's appropriate. Because all we're doing now, in my opinion, as a teacher who's actually teaching it, not an outsider looking at this book going, yeah, they should be able to do that. They don't understand what that means. They don't get it. They're not supposed to get it. They're 6 years old. First of all, they don't care about math. They don't care. They want to be playing. They want to be playing with anything they can get their hands on. A pencil, an eraser, whatever's in front of them, their own fingers. They're not invested. They're not sitting down going, oh my God, yes, it is time for math. Let me learn all I can learn. Okay, maybe like 2 kids are like, yeah, it's time for math. But even then, when you throw something like this in front of them, that joy starts to go, wah, 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 because that's not fun. And if you don't make it fun, if you don't make it interesting and exciting for little kids, you're going to turn them off forever. And I know that as a little kid who hated math. I still don't like math because it was taught to me in the most boring, dry way. There was no manipulatives. We didn't have colorful bears. We didn't have counting blocks. And yes, this book does like say to introduce those things, but the underlying way the book is written is so above a level of understanding for the kids. And it's hard for me to believe that like professionals who supposedly know children's development wrote this book and said, yeah, this is how we're going to do it. Did it go through testing? Did real teachers take this book into their classroom and go, yeah, that's it. 6th graders need to know addition equation. I mean, I know I'm going on about that one point, but like just flipping through the book, it's like, why can't we just get them to know numbers? Why can't we just get them to understand the basics of I have 3 of these and 2 of these and we put them together? Why does it have to be intermingled with so many words that they can't read yet? It's been nearly impossible for me to even teach a whole group lesson 30 minutes. This is not happening, sister. I'm lucky if I could keep them for 3 minutes. And that's me animating it. I have manipulatives. I've got the projector going. They have their own book. They're sitting on the floor. Where like this is me flipping over to YouTube videos in the middle, taking brain breaks because it does not keep their interest because it is so over their head. If I could just teach them how to do math and then we introduce these harder things, I think we'd be a lot more successful. But hey, it's just me with 30 years in the classroom. I mean, what do I know? I didn't write a whole book or anything. I don't know. So that's why I'm frustrated. Now that is a rant for certain, but I don't think it's a one that will get me fired. I think it's just my honest opinion. I mean, I didn't curse or anything, right? So, I mean, that's good. But that's just how I feel. It's almost like I feel what the kids are feeling. It's like you're defeated before you even start. So what is my plan? What do I advise you to do? Do whatever works for you and your kids, because I can't spend my day being artificial. I can't spend my day doing something that's not working. I cannot spend my life drowning in frustration. So I can't. If someone wants to come in and model, like if someone's not happy with how I'm teaching it, I will gladly hand over the reins. You take the book, my friend, and show me how it's done, because I can only do so much. I cannot make kids magically understand words that they can't read yet. I can't make them understand higher level concepts. They don't know 2 + 2 yet. Honestly, seriously, some of them don't know that. I have kids writing their letters all kinds of backwards, or numbers backwards. I have a kid who answered P when it was, the letter P was an answer to a math problem, and it wasn't a backwards 9. It was a P. So I don't think he really cares about addition equations. And neither do I, to be honest. So, bleh. So that was my rant. This is a long video. So if you stayed to the end, I love you so much. I just want to let you know that when the fire inspectors came in, what I did was I played it off like I was on a FaceTime call. I don't think they bought it. So we'll see. Anyway, if you have any blog posts or videos or TPT products that may help me make this math better for me and my students, please share them in the comments. I'd be happy to check them out. Until then, that is my thought on our new math series. And maybe at the end of the year, I'll come back and say, oh my God, do you remember on day 13 how I was poo-pooing the math? I was so wrong. This has been the best year ever. Maybe. Probably not.